All right, guys, we are back. The refresh.
Yep, so far everything looks fine.
Okay, guys. So I just ended it on TikTok because I think that's where it's causing some more delay than what Spectrum's already doing for me because Spectrum is pissing me off. But going back to what I was saying, Keanu Reeves is a unique character that he can portray anything. This guy, I didn't get into John Wick till much later. I didn't start watching John Wick till part three was in production. So just seeing that character change that he can portray anything really is so unique to me that
Mhm.
I think he's such a great actor that he can do it all.
Yeah, and that's the thing because he actually has a lot of action movies. Like he did Constantine, he's done like the John Wicks, the Matrix, but like him he's done a ton of movies where he's had a gun in his hand as a character. And I think it's the amount of training he did for the John Wick movies, he's going to have even more action packed gunslinging movies in the future if he continues to do uh movies, which I mean he's how old is he? I think he's in his like 50s.
I'm not too certain, but he even had a gun in the Sonic movie.
Yeah,
There's there's a call out to a game where Shadow has a gun. I think it's the Shadow
he
game.
is 60.
Hmm. And he just came out in a new movie called Ballerina, where it's supposed to be
Mhm.
between part two and three of John Wick. My understanding.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of good about him, and
Mhm.
like there's so many different actors that can portray stuff outside of their comfort zone that it catches me off guard every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, he has plenty of action movies where he's a he yeah, he is a good person. He's a very respectful like because I know I seen an article of like he's so like respectful of like all of his fans and everything. Like when he does like a photo op, like he never puts his hands like he'll put his arm around like so like a woman, but he'll never like actually fully touch her. And like it shows, and it's like yes, because he doesn't want people to feel uncomfortable, doesn't want people to be offended, and he's very business oriented and people oriented, but he's able to keep that kind of separate, which is very refreshing from a celebrity. So yeah, I can't really say I've ever seen a bad movie of his. Now, mind you, I haven't seen all of his movies, so I'm sure there's probably some out there.
Oh yeah, that's every
But
actor.
yeah, but yeah, like one of my favorite movies of all time was Constantine. I love that movie. I watched that movie as a kid. The most awesomest movie I ever done did see.
Not gonna lie,
And
I haven't seen the movie, and I know it's gotten amazing ratings. I never had a
it's
chance.
great.
That's
And they're
probably gonna
coming
be our next movie
supposedly,
night.
yeah, supposedly I mean, I don't know if they did or they're in the middle of filming it right now, Constantine 2.
Oh, I've been hearing about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
during our next movie night, maybe we'll play that one.
That
Yeah,
sounds good.
there's a lot of good movies out there. Like, I know there's different actors that I've seen. Like, let's say, Robert Downey Jr. He can portray Iron Man. He all the way through. All of a sudden, now he's playing Dark Doom because of a different comic that where Iron Man can become Doctor Doom. Hey, Walter,
Yeah.
welcome in. Not
I
sure if
think
that one is the reason why that is. There's a lot of different story behind it, but he's played different things. Like there's a Sherlock Holmes movie that I really
mm,
enjoyed his acting in. There's a part two to it that I don't think was as great as the first one, but still, it was to me really great acting from him. Really great.
yeah. Well, the funny thing you're talking about Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, I think what really works for him, and it's kind of the same thing with Ben Affleck. What worked for him is he made a very good Tony Stark, and then Iron Man is just kind of a byproduct of that character. Because like Ben Affleck, I thought was a great Bruce Wayne, and then his Batman is okay, but like it kind of balances out of like, yes, he makes a good Batman because it's the character in its whole. But like there's a lot of actors that I don't think could do the same thing where it's like, yes, you portray one part of a character so well that even if you portray somewhat of a subpar alter personality of that character, it still works. Right? Because
Thank you,
like
Walter.
hope you're having a good one, Walter. Because like I don't know, if you put like oh god, what's the guy that was like the buttered sausage meme? That guy, like that guy obviously isn't going to work, and I can't think of what the hell his name is. Um, but like the, the they need to find celebrities that fit 90% of the profile of a character. And I mean, there's some like again going back to the Minecraft movie. Jason Momoa did not need to be in the Minecraft movie. There was like no reason for him to be in there, and it was just like, oh yeah, he's a washed up celebrity that won a gaming tournament like 30 years ago, and he's just having a midlife crisis, so he befriends a child, which I mean seems like to be most Minecraft creators, but you know that's besides the point. um it's they're like not putting in the work to actually fit celebrities into the roles that were made for them. Because like, well, one of the best ones I think was Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin.
That was a
Absolutely
really great,
fantastic pick.
really good choice for that one.
Yeah, but it just seems like now they're just putting in whoever's popular, and it's just I find it very disheartening when it comes to like the movies that are coming out. I don't think there's a movie that's come out recently there where I was like, "Ooh, I have to go see this in theaters." Um, like there was one movie that came out recently, and I kind of want to go see it, but it wasn't because of the actor. It was more the premise of the movie, and it was like, she's still here or something.
Not sure.
I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about. It was
Mm,
like I think it was like a lady that was basically Frankensteining her daughter back to life or something.
no. No, there's a couple movies I've been wanting to see, which I have access to some of those, and there's a movie that I started watching, but nothing with the certain actors, nothing too famous. Lady in the Yard. Like I've been trying to see different things recently to where I'm outside my comfort zone. Um, there's like I'm telling you, there's many different things that come from good actors in good scenarios. Like let's say Fight Club. Fight
Mhm.
Club was a really, really great movie, a cult classic that nobody really thought about. Edward Nord, like there were so many different things from him that like I didn't know I didn't picture him as the Hulk. Um,
Yeah.
he was the original Incredible Hulk before Mark Ruffalo took over,
Hmm.
and people forget that. Like there's different actors that can go and actually be a certain thing and be good at it, and sometimes you just get one that's they're a great actor but they don't fit. They don't
Yeah.
fit that premise. Like you, let's say Rhodey from Iron Man. You remember who the first one
Yeah.
was, right?
I don't remember. Was it? Is it Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yep,
Is
Cuba
that who it
Gooding
was?
Jr.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he was asking for too much. They gave him the boot,
Hmm.
and they brought in I'm forgetting his name right now. Don.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know who it is. I know who you're talking about. I just don't know the guy's name.
Yeah, they brought in a complete different actor, and he fit the that whole premise pretty good. Like he was able to jump right in, and people completely forgot that he was the original one.
Hmm. Yeah, and I hate when movies have to do that, but like I understand because it kind of breaks the immersion a bit. At least for me. Like again, I understand why, but it just sucks when that happens. Um I do believe that for uh Marvel, like I believe that they did make the right choice of switching him out. The hell's this movie? I'm looking for that movie I was talking about. I'm trying to.
Yeah, like sometimes
Uh,
there's great actors that stay in their position. Sometimes they get changed. Like there's many actors that can fit a role and stick to a role for so long. Like Robert Downey Jr. portraying Iron Man has stuck for so long, and he was able to do it for that entirety of that whole series until his
mhm,
passing in the Marvel movies.
yeah,
Also, I just had another one that I was thinking Wolverine. Wolverine and X Men. It has been the same actor, Hugh Jackman, the whole time. You've
yeah.
changed the rest of the cast, but you've kept Hugh Jackman. Why? Because nobody can see anybody as Wolverine but Hugh Jackman. Even in Deadpool
True.
coming back, like you can't picture anybody else. Like honestly, true, chat. Can you picture anybody in like taking that mantle of Wolverine?
Well, I know that there's a comic where it goes to his daughter, where it's
X-23.
Weapon X-23. Yeah, thank you. Johnny Depp with Pirates of the Caribbean. Yep, that's another one.
Yep.
Yeah, like no one can be Captain Jack Sparrow except Johnny Depp. 100%. I agree with that. Um, but yeah, no, it's even
The
through like
the only
the
funny one was on Deadpool where they had what's his name? The character portray Superman, portray Logan in one of the multiverses that he was going through.
I haven't seen the movie, so I have no idea.
So who's the one who portrays Superman in Man of Steel?
Oh, Henry Cavill. Yeah, I
Henry.
know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
So the Cavill Wolverine, that one made an appearance in Deadpool, except that one because that one was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
Other than that, I
And
can't
like
portray anybody else.
here's the thing. I could understand if they got Henry Cavill to be Wolverine if Hugh Jackman had died, right? Like if they were in the middle of filming a new Wolverine movie and something happened, like Hugh Jackman, expires before his time, and they're like, well, put Henry Cavill in there. I'm not happy about it, but honestly, there's way worse picks that they could have done. Like if they made I'll say this: Henry Cavill or um was it Alan Rickman? It, I could I could kind of see him because of Reacher, but also I could kind of not see him because of Blue Mountain State, and it's forever changed my perception of him as an actor because all I can see is Thad. I'm like, God damn it! But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Dad's a hilarious character.
oh my god, I can never. I couldn't even start watching the movie because I started watching it and they made Thad even dumber. I'm like, I can't. This is too much. I think I got like 10 minutes into the movie. I'm like, I can't. The show was bad enough, but it was still limited by like the restrictions of like being on a show. Like it's I don't know if it ever uh was on like regular TV or cable TV, whatever it was.
I don't
But
think
my
it was.
god. Well, I mean, I feel like I feel like it had to have been because there was like no nudity. It was very suggestive, but there was nothing that really crossed the line to take it off the air of, being on TV channels. So, but yeah, absolutely ridiculous show. But yeah, certain actors like Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds. It can only be that actor.
Like, let's
And
say, let's bring up what Walter's talking about. Let's say Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. For Spider-Man, there has been a couple different actors, but the
yes,
one that everybody always had fallen back on, it wasn't Andrew Garfield, and it wasn't the most recent one,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. When people have always thought about Spider-Man, in my opinion, has always been Tobey Maguire. Tom Holland's a great
I
actor, but except Spider-Man 3.
Here's the thing. When you're talking about Spider-Man, yes, the first movie Spider-Man is what's his face?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Yeah. I agree with that. However, I think the best Spider-Man in the movies is Tom Holland because Tom Holland's Spider-Man portrays the
A
friendly
young kid.
neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, it's the young, like, hey, what's going on? Not, college level, has a job and everything. Tobey Maguire. I feel like Andrew Garfield is more on the Tobey Maguire side of being the older, like, has to be more responsible because they're like a scientist and stuff. But like, I will say, when it's not Mary Jane with Andrew Garfield, I forget who it is, but
It's uh Alicia?
Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, when she falls and then he yo-yos off the floor, I still laugh at that part. I know that's horrible, but like he gets redeemed in was it No Way Home? So
But he has
I
to go
mean,
outside of his universe to get that redemption.
yeah, but still. Um, but yeah, no, it's for me the Tom Holland. I feel is the best Spider-Man of those three. And then if we're talking Batman, I like Val Kilmer Batman out of like the older ones, but like Christian Bale did such a good job. Um, I I have to say Christian Bale is probably my favorite. The the new Batman that they did with Sparkly Boy from Twilight, it felt like an emo teen movie, and I'm just like, I'm not about it. The movie wasn't bad, I just didn't really care too much for it. And then Superman, Henry Cavill was born to be Superman. I am curious to see the new Superman because I know nothing about the guy, but the previews make it look pretty decent. Will I go see it in theaters? I'm not 100% sure,
I'll probably just
but
watch it at home
I am very
on Discord.
curious. Discord? What are we looking at? Discord.
I'm saying I'll probably just put it on Discord and watch it there.
Oh,
How about who is the Batman with the nipples?
Ben Affleck.
No, older. There was an older Batman where the nipples were on the outfit, and he still gets clowned upon.
You're not talking Adam West, are you?
No,
Hold on, I've um 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 um, 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 I th- I might know who you're talking about.
no, it wasn't George Clooney.
No, was it the guy that did Vulture in the Spider-Man movie?
Yes,
What the hell is that guy's name? What? George Clooney.
what? Wait, it was George Clooney with the nipples. Oh wait,
George Clooney's Batman was a return to something much more camp, and
chat.
it
You are
stirred
right
fans like
actually, because they
Schumacher.
made fun of it during the Flash movie at the end, where he came out the very end of the Flash movie, and they
Mhm.
mentioned the nipples, and he's like, "God damn those things."
Oh, I didn't even see that. Look, if you want to talk anything Batman, Ed's your guy. Ed's gonna know what the fuck you're talking about. Because I pulled up Google, so I didn't even see the chat for a second. Yeah, If Ed says it's something about Batman, I will take his word for it immediately.
Yes, it was Batman versus Batman and Robin. Which was the other actor though? There was another actor in between.
Yeah, because there was George Clooney, Val Kilmer. Oh God! Again, going to Google. Michael Keaton is who I was thinking of.
Michael Keaton. That's who. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, I got it mixed up.
Yeah, and then there was Adam West. Oh, Josh Hutcherson. Keanu Reeves was Batman at one time.
Yeah, there's been some unique actors portraying that, but yeah, it's just some actors fit, some actors don't,
Yeah,
and some of those the older Batmans I really enjoyed. Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and also Twilight. Don't forget Twilight
Robert
guy,
Patterson,
Robert Pattinson.
which I think he did a good job as Batman, but I think the writing was just bad
But then people
because
are
they
always
made
gonna
it.
remember him for his previous acting. Uh, He'll
Yeah,
be he'll be cursed with that.
well, I've never seen Twilight. However, I will talk shit about him because I refuse to watch Twilight unless I have a significant other that wants to watch Twilight and wants me to watch it with them. I will not watch Twilight. Oh, Jim Carrey Riddler. Yes, I love Jim Carrey Riddler.
It was awesome. Yeah, I'm saying there could be characters that can portray from any different type of world. There is a show that people have seen, and still to this day, this character made a return more recent to where people were extremely emotional on this person's return. Just him talking to them on TikTok, making videos specifically like if he were listening to you and talking to you. Do you know where I'm going with this, kid?
No, I have no idea what you're talking
There's
about.
a certain kid actor that did not fit the role of what he portrayed for many years, playing with a little blue dog called Blue's Clues. There was an actor named Steve, and a lot of people don't really know is that Steve, how he looked originally when he first auditioned for the role, he looked nothing close to what you saw on TV. He was a rocker, long hair, all black, straight look emo.
This is the first time hearing of this. I have no idea.
But do you know who Steve looks like, right? Like, like if you
If,
were to pull
if
up Steve from Blue's Clues,
brother, I I am 30. I have not seen any Blues Clues since I was probably like 10.
yeah. But more recently, he started making videos where it looks like he's listening to people, and people are getting so emotional in his return and him talking and everything. Him like it looks like he's listening to you, saying how are you. People are getting crazy emotional about that. I didn't get emotional about it, but I've seen these videos of people like, oh my god, thank you, you did this for my
Are you talking
childhood.
about Steve Burns?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I kind of remember him, but
So if you ever look at his how he looked for his audition, there's some videos out there and some photos out there of what Steve Burns actually looked like. He did not match his character whatsoever. Anything even related for kids. They told him to clean it up, and they gave him that position. Like that goes back to the whole thing is that someone can portray something and be so great at it, but sometimes they just don't fit. As long as you get the right person, like Robert Downey Jr., if you remember his past, he was real heavy on drugs to where they weren't even sure if he'd be in Hollywood ever again. He had his whole redemption arc, and he killed it. He had that second chance, and he killed it.
I mean,
Where's
doesn't
Troy
really say
Theroux?
anything about him.
Norm Macdonald is Patrick Bateman.
Wait, what?
I'm reading Raymond's chat right there.
Of which is best? Which do you think would be the worst choice for a role, live or dead? I'm going with Norm Macdonald as that's so funny. Yeah, no, no, Norm Macdonald as Patrick Bateman. Bateman is such a meme. That's so good. Yeah, that one. God, that's, that's so funny. Oh my god, no, like, no, you know, it'd be really funny, like Nicki Minaj as Hannibal Lecter. Like that would be so funny. It'd be so bad.
There's just
Oh my
some
god.
stuff that it's just you don't ever picture. It's just insane what the multiverse
Norm,
can do.
I'm sorry, the Norm Macdonald as Patrick Bateman kind of broke my
Thank you, Walter.
brain.
Have a great
That's
night.
so good.
Great,
Appreciate you,
great night,
Walter.
Walter.
Have a good night, bud. Oh my god. That's so great.
And just staying on the subject, we've been talking about Moody. I've been talking about movie adaptations that have been great coming out of gaming. We've had
Mhm.
bad ones coming out of gaming. We've had some that just original to where they try including gaming. Like, have you ever seen the movie House of the Dead?
I don't think so. It sounds familiar, but I mean, there's so many like zombie movies with such similar titles. I can never 100% be sure unless I see like the movie, the like the actual case or the art.
Yeah, like yeah, I can't picture Adam Sandler as Anakin.
Hold on, I got no. You'd be great, Mike Tyson as Anakin. I think that'd be way funnier. You underestimate my power.
Let's see. I was saying, House of the Dead. Trust me, if you see this, the portrayal of this, it goes from I'm stuck on this island. I'm trying to get through all these zombies that were stuck in this house, and they find like this girl that's like hunting, and somehow she goes with them because she thinks they're part of the group that's making these zombies. All of a sudden, video games were better on series. Yeah, they do. Like they start showing like what the video game looks like to where you get the guns, you start getting points for
Mhm.
shooting the body, so you start seeing that but near the end. So that's the only time you actually see like House of the Dead actually being portrayed on there. there's
I'll have to
there's
take a look at that movie.
yeah, there's a lot of different games out there that convert into movies that do not do well. There's a game that I remember, I mean not a game, there's a movie that I seen, excuse me, there's a movie I seen a long time ago called Stay Alive.
That one sounds familiar.
That one has a couple different actors that might be known. I can't recall, but it does have um, Frankie Muniz as one of the actors in it. The,
Oh, I know exactly which movie you're talking about now. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, so on Stay
That
Alive,
movie was weird.
yeah, basically
Yeah.
you're playing this game, and if you die in the game, you die in real life, but you're gonna die the same way you do in the game. And this game, it's playing at all times. If you leave, like you can't pause the game. It's real life, whatever's happening. And it's a game where everybody's in there at the same time. So if they find you in the game, they can try helping you. But other than that, you're on your own.
Yeah.
There's a spot where a character dies by hanging. All of a sudden, he this ghost comes out and comes and hang him. It's a game that was created at some what's that type of housing called? Um, the ones were 1700s. Oh, it was plantation. It was a plantation where this game
Oh,
was made, and somehow it's a ghost that's trying to kill everybody.
yeah. It's. I mean, because that's like what, a 90s movie? Like it was like weird 90s.
No, 2000s.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, 2006. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
just God, that was like movies during that time. There was some weird ones going on. And like it's funny because I feel like the crazy ones that were happening at the time really led to what we're seeing now of like stories that come together that are a little bit less ridiculous, but some of them are still out of pocket. But I mean, honestly, without those crazy like time frames of like weird movies, I don't think movies would be as good now.
yeah, they learn from their mistakes, but sometimes you need to make movies that are either bangers or just terrible because you can't have consistently good movies. Then people are just gonna get bored because yeah, you're gonna have a good movie here and there, but how do you
Yeah.
know what's gonna be good or what's gonna be mediocre? Sometimes
Well,
movies are just made and not really caring about what the budget is, just trying to get through a script because this is what we got paid for.
but here's the thing. I wouldn't say that people set out to make bad movies, right? It's there's the people who make the movies to appeal to the most amount of people, and then there's the people who make good movies for a more niche selection of people. And it's like I like to believe that most of the time that directors put their like heart and souls into their projects. I know it's not a reality of that's every single project, but if you can't take pride in something you make and you make it the best way you can, you shouldn't be making movies, especially when you get handed millions of dollars to make these movies. Cause like I'm not like I like horror movies, but like generally it's not my first choice. But if I see a horror movie that's, you know, absolute top tier, top notch, just like, yes, this was great. Someone took time, someone really, like I'll take for example, I'll take oh what it, I always talk about this movie with my brothers and I can't think of the name of it now. It's um it's a space movie where basically this ship goes out to test a warp drive and it goes missing and it shows up like 6 months later and they go and they send a team to recover the ship and the whole crew is missing. um oh god, what the hell is the movie called? I'm gonna kick myself the moment I see it.
But
It
sometimes
has
I
Lawrence Fishburne in it and Event Horizon.
hmm,
Absolutely, like if you've never seen it, I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it's one of those horror movies that I absolutely love because it's unique. They took the time to take an original idea and bring it all together. Absolutely fantastic, right? But then you have a movie. I'm going to use. I don't know if you've seen the movie Talk to Me.
no.
Originally, like the previews made it seem like it was way more than it actually was. And then when I watched this movie, it was weird, very odd, and then the ending was unbelievably stupid, and it kind of pissed me off. Granted, I feel like somebody was really trying to pull something together there, and I feel like they did try their best to make this thing as original as possible, right? Wasn't for me though. Will I say it's a bad movie? I don't think it's the best. I wouldn't really recommend it, but I don't think it is just outright garbage because there were some interesting points to the movie. They tried some things, they made it really odd and unpredictable, but overall I didn't feel satisfied watching the movie. So when you have something that's supposed to be liked by the most amount of people, like if you're making a mass produced movie that you're trying to make it so everybody can watch it, everyone can enjoy it, yes, it's I don't want to say it's easy to do, but it's easy for people to agree that it's either a good or a bad movie. However, because Talk to Me was made by A24, it is not as big of the producers in like Hollywood and stuff out in California. So they're trying to compete with these bigger studios. Not to say that A24 is a small studio, because they're getting very, very oh my god, predominant, very
Predominant.
big actors. Yeah, very big, because like they just came out with a movie which I do want to watch called Death of a Unicorn, because I'm very curious on what the movie's about. It has Jenna Ortega in it and Ant-Man, Paul Rudd. So like those two names are nothing to sneeze at. So I think there's a few other very famous names in there too, but I don't know them.
Yeah,
Um
but sometimes like I do feel like the directors don't care as much because there's some movies that I question. Like
yeah,
we've all heard of the movie Scary Movie, correct?
yes.
It's a parody to Scream, but they always add different portions into it so it can be
Mhm.
considered a funny movie.
Well,
There is
it's not just
hmm?
Scream. It's because I think they added a few other
Oh
very
yeah.
niche like jokes from other horror movies of that time.
Oh yeah, they always
But yeah,
add different stuff. But for a movie that I know everybody in this chat, there might be one person, but everybody in this chat does not even know exists. There's a parody, even worse than Scary Movie, that
are you
starts
about to
off
talk about Van
exactly the
Helsing?
same. No, it's also basically Scary Movie, where it's based on Scream, but it's a
Okay.
parody of many different movies. And I bet you nobody in this chat will even know this title as soon as I say it. It's called Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th. I have seen this movie.
Now I've never seen that one. I don't think I've ever even heard of that one. That just sounds terrible.
It is
Yeah, no, you
terrible,
got me on
but
that
I
one.
watched it and I laughed because of how terrible it was. Because I've seen a scary movie plenty of times, but this one, it's a mixture of a couple movies because you can already tell of maybe a
Mm,
couple movies that are in there. Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th.
yeah.
It's a mixture of many different movies, same way Scream is portrayed through Scary Movie. It's very terrible, very hilarious on how
That
bad it
sounds
is.
bad.
And sometimes I think these directors just make a movie to make a movie, just like that
Yeah.
one right there.
Well, was
'Cause
that actually in theaters, or was that just a movie that went straight to home video?
I'm pretty sure it was straight to home.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're making a movie for theaters, yes, it's I hope that they actually put their blood, sweat, and tears into the movie to make it the best they can.
Mhm.
When it's straight to home, I just figure it's people taking a piss. There's there's a horrible movie, and I nobody should ever watch this movie. I was forced to watch this movie because of a deal that was made with a friend. And I I think it was worse than the Minecraft movie. It again, I have to preface this. Do not watch this movie. It is terrible and you will not have a good time. It is called Blood Gnomes. And yeah, the premise is there are these invisible gnomes that are going around and killing people in the BDSM kink community out in California. And the only way you can see it is through this shitty camcorder that this forensics guy that has this special film that can like basically use x-ray vision to see shit. And I'm like, this is painful to watch. Like, here's the thing, I'd go watch the Minecraft movie again. I will never watch Blood Gnomes again.
I don't know.
It's yeah.
Sometimes there's some movies that are just questionable. Like, let's say the movie Leprechaun.
I love Leprechaun. It's so stupid, but it's great.
Have you ever heard of Leprechaun Back to the Hood?
Into Hood, Into Hood, In Space. Yep. Never seen them, but I've heard of them.
There's a Leprechaun in the Hood, and it has Ice T in it.
Yep.
Ice T is this badass gangbanger. That he's the leader of his gang, and somehow he becomes Leprechaun's bitch because he's gonna kill him if he doesn't listen to him. So there's a lot of
Hmm.
movies where it's just a little questionable. Uh, Going back
Jason
to
X.
hmm,
Have you ever seen Jason X?
that one is terrible. Somehow he
It's
mutates
so
and
funny.
him and the girl that he had just stabbed are in the future now, and they healed
It's
her.
so funny. Oh yeah, no, it's bad for sure, but it's so funny to me.
Yeah, there's some movies out there just questionable what they were thinking, or who even
Mhm.
touched that script. Like
I
there's
mean, I'm sure there's a lot of starving actors that will touch those scripts.
like
I mean,
let's
I'm sure
say
it's the same people that fall for casting couch.
it's very true. There's a movie that a lot of people hate, and honestly, I really enjoy this movie. It's three different movies actually. There's Street Fighter,
Okay.
and there's also Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
So Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, the first one, love those movies. They're great. Mortal Kombat 2 is a travesty. I can't get behind Mortal Kombat 2. The new one, the new one I did not like. The new one actually annoyed the shit out of me. I think Annihilation's better than the new one though.
Yeah,
And then I've seen
Annihilation
them.
wasn't as best as the first one, but it just there was something about like those where Liu Kang actually gets that win on part two that I liked a lot better
Mhm.
than what's his face from Hollywood. Can't,
Oh,
can't think of his name.
Johnny,
Johnny Cage.
Johnny, Johnny Cage. Yeah,
So Johnny Cage, he's not supposed to be the main actor. He's not the main hero was always Liu Kang.
yeah.
But somehow he gets that whole ordeal where he's the main guy. But other than that, I really like these movies. Like even Street Fighter. Street Fighter was
Mhm.
ridiculously funny. Like there were
Yeah,
some bad scenes that were just so bad that they were hilarious. There was a scene I will
yeah.
never forget from the movie Street Fighter with John Claude Van Damme. There's a part where Zangief, this big buff guy, big super buff guy that is known to be this badass guy in all Street Fighter. There's a spot where there's a truck, a runaway truck that they purposely launched towards them in their little campsite, and they're looking at the TV. They're like, "Oh, look, the truck's coming at us." The first thing, everybody's panicking. Zangief, quick, turn off the TV. Like that's gonna do anything. Like that's gonna stop this truck from actually plowing into the house that they're in. That was the
Yeah.
best line because right when he says it, the other actor that comes on a lot of movies, I forget his name, more of a comedic actor,
Mhm.
turns around and looks at him like, "What?"
Yeah. I do remember that movie being quite ridiculous, but also pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that are portrayed from games. Yeah, some people are gonna love, some people are gonna hate,
Mhm.
but the adaptation sometimes they stay true to what they are, and sometimes they just
Yeah.
go way off the rails, way off the rails. That's why they've been
In like the remake
so
of Nightmare on
hesitant.
Elm Street.
Yeah, like that's why they've been so
I haven't
hesitant on
seen.
making some of these games into movies. Nightmare on Elm Street, there's actually a game back in the day on Nintendo or Super Nintendo, I can't remember. It actually wasn't that bad. It was a
I
side
haven't
scroller.
seen. I haven't seen the new Nightmare on Elm Street, but like the first couple of Nightmare on Elm Streets were pretty funny, and I really liked it because it was comedy mixed with horror elements. Because it wasn't just all stab and gore and yada yada yada. There was actually some like depth to it, even though it's still a fucked up premise. But yeah, the remakes. I feel like remakes, unless they're like revolutionary remakes, they're just gonna be worse than the originals, no matter what.
With the
Especially like,
original actor, that guy portrayed so many of those Nightmare on Elm Street movies. So many. I
yep,
think it's Robert Englund.
yep,
Yeah, there were some where they I forget. There were so many of those Nightmare on Elm Street movies back in the day. I've seen a good chunk of them. To where one's called like The Child. Um, a lot of different ones where I think that if the kid was born, he was trying to go into the body so he could be reborn. There's a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, that sounds about right for that era. I know there was Freddy versus Jason, which was ridiculous. I think that
That
one was pretty funny.
yeah, it was pretty funny. But if you guys remember the end of the Jason movie, not Jason X, but the one before that, I think it was Jason Goes to Hell, where at the end of the movie, the mask is all that's left at the very end, and uh, you see the claw from Freddy comes up and actually drags it down, and that's how you know that eventually we're gonna get a Freddy versus
Hmm.
Jason movie.
Yep.
But they didn't release it till way later.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, but it's been pretty good. Sometimes you get some good portrayals, some bad portrayals, but it already depends. It's just how
yeah.
much love the actors, the voice actors, whatever it might be, the directors are into this movie. Hopefully,
Mm.
there's some good portrayals that are coming out soon because I am a huge Legend of Zelda fan, huge, and I really hope that the Legend of Zelda that they're producing does good by the game.
Yeah. I I'm very curious to see what they're going to do. There's already been, I don't know if this was a real thing or if it's just dumb people online doing some shit where there was already some controversy about who they want as Zelda. I'm like, bruh, it's not even talked about being confirmed yet. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
very curious to see how this turns out.
there's always controversy no matter who you choose, no matter what it is. Always woke America that keeps, oh, it's got to be this, got to be that. You guys don't choose. It's chosen by the people who are directing, the people who are doing the casting calls, the people who
Hmm.
want to be there. They're the ones trying for the role, and they're the ones who get it. Like,
Yeah.
woke America has got to stop with this. Like, you guys don't choose. Like, it's crazy
Um,
where they try making all these changes. The one good change that woke America did do was take away Sonic's teeth and that weird face.
I don't think that was woke America. I think that was everybody. That was horrid.
that was a
Um,
that was a scary portrayal.
so here's the thing on Zelda. It's the upcoming live action Zelda movie is facing controversy primarily regarding casting choices and the potential direction of the film. So it's not just who they're getting to be the actors. There, it's what the director might be doing. But yeah, it's they're wanting the one that I seen was they want Hunter Schafer as Princess Zelda.
Who's that?
That's the one that people were very upset about. I
Hunt.
don't know. I I've never seen this person as an actor. I have no idea what they're all about, but there's one thing that people are going to like is just fighting about dumb shit.
Hunter Schafer. Okay, there's a picture of her that kind of
Yeah,
looks already like Zelda.
yeah,
Okay.
Ramundo. The right and left went, "Holy shit, this is horrid." Yep, 100%.
The only thing that brought America together. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. Like, let's say Legend of Zelda. There was a April Fool's joke years ago, where they made a trailer that they're gonna be bringing out the Legend of Zelda, and actually that trailer looked really good and really convincing. I don't know. Did you ever see this one, Skip? It was like years ago where they made that fake trailer. I think it came
For
out on like
what?
IGN on Legend of Zelda.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there was a Legend of Zelda trailer. Let me see if I can find it. Legend of Zelda trailer. Back in 2008, they made a fake trailer. It was released by IGN based on the
Mhm.
Legend of Zelda series, and it looked so good. It convinced so many people. There was so many hype. I was convinced. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna make a Legend of Zelda. Like, it looked really good. It was basically Ocarina of Time, like that whole game, like what it
Okay.
looked like.
Yeah.
That thing was fantastic, and I hope they do that type of work to it if they do
Hmm.
live action, because that thing was great. Other than that, some portrayals of shows, movies don't always work. Like if anybody remembers the Super Mario show,
Yes.
the Super Mario show, it stuck to the story somewhat. There was a couple weird iterations in there, but hey, it was back in the day. That's the stuff they wanted. It wasn't too bad.
Hmm.
There was also a Legend of Zelda show back in the day where it wasn't too popular, so both of them didn't last too long. One the Legend of Zelda one was it wasn't Link actually trying to really save Zelda, if I remember right. It was more of he was a comedic guy that just loved kind of trolling Zelda. He would go save her, but it was more of a trolly like relationship,
Yeah.
not much of a intimate relationship. But yeah, it's just a lot of different movies get portrayed. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I personally like those. Not really big fan of the third one, but there's always something about
That's
the
fair.
third one. The first and
The
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 second
new
one,
ones weren't the new ones weren't terrible. They kind of stuck somewhat true to the original plot, but I don't know. I'm excited to see if they do Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, because I think that's supposed to be an R-rated Ninja Turtles movie.
that'd be pretty interesting. I just seen a Batman movie where it was kind of like Ronin stuff. It wasn't that bad.
Mhm.
A little unique, a little different from what I'm used to from seeing from Batman.
Only the future will tell.
True.
Ugh. But yeah, I think I think we got a pretty decent episode.
Yeah,
So
just
I don't
mainly about these portrayals of movies and shows, but
yeah.
let's see,
And
ad
luckily,
break.
it seems like the TikTok might have been the thing that was messing up the stream. But
So looks like I gotta get the bugs working so we can multicast on TikTok.
yeah,
But other than that, this has been the Nutty Podcast. My name is Peanut, accompanied by Skip Starhopper.
so appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out. And as always, we hope to see you when we are doing our normal streams, whether it is in Peanuts streams or mine. Love you all very, very much, and hope to see you guys later.
Hey guys, so thank you for joining. Much appreciated. Gonna be cutting it for today, but I do appreciate everybody joining in. This is our second episode so far, and we're gonna keep doing these. Please, guys, join the Discord. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you want us to include. There's a couple channels on there where you can add topics that you want us to touch upon on podcast ideas. We also have channels where if you guys want us to blind react to it, or if you just want to give us any feedback, just let us know. But other than that, we're gonna be rating out. I'll probably be live maybe Tuesday. Skip, what's your next day going live?
Should normally it's Wednesday. I may be canceling streams this week, but I will let you all know later.
All right, guys. So you heard it here. Let me see if I got anybody good to raid. Uh, Nobody really. You got anybody to raid?
Only Vanderwood right now, but they're wrapping up.
Let's see.
If you do it soon, be fine.
Let me see.
It's
Let me see.
Vanderwood TV if you're interested.
You know what? I'm just gonna raid. It's one person I met before. Real cool person. So gonna send you off to Drunk Not Toasted. Pretty cool streamer. Does a lot of Call of Duty. Uh, Not much of a filter on her, but real cool person. And guys, please join us. We're gonna be doing this on a bi-weekly basis. Next one will be in 2 weeks, so you should be seeing us on the 29th. unless we change schedule, but I'll be on the Discord, guys. So don't forget to join that Discord, show that love. Don't forget to join Skip on his live, join me on mine, hit that follow button. But other than that, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys.
Bye.
It's the Nutty Podcast, pull up a seat. Peanut and Skip Star Hopper bringing that heat. We're diving deep in the games we play. Conspiracies lurking every single day. Talking about life now, ain't that neat? Welcome to the Nutty, where minds